Welcome back. We now come to a part of the conference which I'm particularly excited about. When we first formed the Tutors Association, one of the big things that we were interested in was obviously continuous professional development. In all the research that we did, it came back time after time that the tutoring profession wanted a lot of things. They wanted regulation, they wanted standards, they wanted a code of ethics, they wanted to even meet with their peers. But the big thing was they wanted training, advice and professional development to help them and enhance everybody in their careers. So today we are going to be talking about and launching the association's new CPD platform. And our aim really is that we've got people who are new to the profession, we've got seasoned practitioners. We have an opportunity to help you develop, help you continue with the level of expertise that you've produced to date to help you with your tutoring and your tutoring profession. And it's all about professionalising the sector. I have a practicing certificate in chartered accountancy and as a chartered secretary. For me, CPD is absolutely compulsory, otherwise I lose my licence. We're not like that obviously in the tutoring profession, but it is vitally important that people keep themselves up to date. We're very pleased that John Nichols, our president, who runs Get My Grades, has given us the use of his technology, which his company has developed, and they've allowed the association to use this technology as our learning management platform. And I can tell you it's packed full of really, really good courses. We've been writing the copy for some months. It'll be populated with a lot of events and a lot of courses. We have over 60 on there already. And the good thing about it, it's very user friendly. And I think that it will help you in your development, but also we've split it. We've split it between the practice of tutoring, if you like, and managing a tuition business. I get asked a lot of business and technical questions from the members. How should I set up? Should I register as a company? What's the benefit of being a sole trader? Should I form a limited partnership, etc., etc. And I spend a lot of time answering all these questions, but we've now developed programs in that, and equally on the technical side of the actual practice of delivering high class tuition, there are many, many more programs which have been developed by the in-house team and John Nichols himself. The other thing we're going to introduce is a certified program. Now we know that Marlin, University of Worcester have produced a number of programs. We also know that the Classroom Partnership has been doing their own training, obviously for their tutoring practitioners. Theirs is, I think, accredited by the University of Coventry. So it's great that we've got people who are engaged with us, who are doing programs, and we're going to be doing our own. And today, is the launch of that program. The key thing, the key aspects of it, it's free to members. We're developing all these things so that the membership can access them for free. There'll be some you'll be able to read through and update yourself. Others there'll be a short test afterwards and things like that, just to keep you on your toes. But in the end, what's it all about? It's to help you become a more effective tutor. It's ongoing, it's continuous. These things will be continually updated as new ideas, new concepts come out. And I think it's also a great opportunity for our corporate members to expand their offering to their own tutors and use our platform to train their tutors if they haven't got one already or access to one. You know, the size of the membership in the corporate sector ranges from companies that only have three tutors to companies who've got over 1,000. So they come in all different shapes and sizes, and it's very important that we provide, I think, you with the facilities to help you train and get better. So what I would like to do is introduce you to John Nichols. He needs no introduction. He's already been on twice today, and he will take you through the platform and what we've created. And I hope you'll all be as delighted as I am. John.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you
Great.
indeed.
Here we are.
I'm extremely excited to be here presenting the TTA's CPD platform. And as Chris has said, this has been an important aspect of TTA's strategy from the beginning. Okay, TTA has always had this intention since 2013 when it was set up to ultimately provide guidance and support and training to tutors that from a centralised pool of resources, and we're delighted that TTA can now finally do that. And I'm very appreciative to the broad spectrum of people from across the tuition profession who've contributed in many ways. Not only my own company that I've offered lots of technology completely for free, but also many people who have volunteered their time very generously to do this. And if we just go back to, Chris very eloquently pointed out what some of the main aims were. Professionalising the tuition sector in a way that has never happened before, and raising the standard of tuition delivered across the country to make sure that at least for TTA tutors, we can be very confident that tutors are going out there armed with the knowledge and skills to have an enormous impact on children and young people. Just think about how that then translates for those children and young people having different and much improved life chances going forward. That is very much our core aim throughout this. So I'm really, really pleased that this is going to be something that we're doing in order to give tutors access to the theory, the practice, and the knowledge that they need to be those really effective tutors and those really effective educators, supporting schools, supporting the DfE, and supporting private clients in the way that they have done in many ways before. So how? How will we achieve this? In order to provide CPD, what we've previously been doing is we've provided advice and guidance on an ad hoc basis, and Chris has led this within the TTA's internal team. Members have very frequently been in touch with TTA to say how can we get support with various different issues ranging from pedagogy to business, finance, marketing, you name it. Tuition businesses are complex. People are running small businesses of very different business models, addressing very different needs, some focusing on adults, some focusing on children and young people. And we've been consistently trying to provide advice and guidance that's appropriate for this broad pool of people within the tuition sector. So we had to consider at an early stage, how would we provide that level of comprehensive resources that covers tutors across the spectrum, regardless of what you teach and regardless of who you teach it to. So the system that has been created and provided, that was being launched today, includes content covering all manner of pedagogy and all manner of curriculum design, curriculum development, curriculum delivery, and everything from what a basic day one tutor training should look like, from what tutors need to know when they first step foot into a tuition setting, all the way up to things that are very advanced. Neurobiology, neuroscience of learning, advanced pedagogy, advanced educational theory. And you won't be able to read all of the text that's on there at the moment. I don't want you to even try, because this is all going to be available to members for free to complement the existing good quality resources and training that exists amongst our affiliate partners. including platinum sponsor Mile in Academia, and including the variety of other providers that have affiliated with TTA in various ways, so such as Qualified Tutor, such as the University of Worcester, etc., and such as the Classroom Partnerships Thirsty Scholars programme. The TTA's content will complement this. And for the first time, this broad range of content will be available to all TTA members nationally, online, 24/7, whenever they need it. If someone mentions to you, if you're talking to a colleague and you end up getting into a discussion, they mention a theory you've never quite heard of before, you didn't really understand very well, this will give you somewhere to go to be able to read a bit about it, rather than just trawling through Wikipedia or trying to search for stuff on the internet of variable quality. Again, I'm coming back to the point that it's been curated by a whole series of volunteers from within the tuition sector. People with extensive expertise, doctorates, extensive years of tuition experience, teaching experience, former teachers, current teachers. And to those people, I'm extremely grateful for the contribution they've made. In addition, we obviously want to practice what we preach. We always say to people, and including many of the resources within the CPD platform, say that it's much better if students learn by doing some retrieval practice, by making sure they can assess themselves, make sure they can apply the knowledge they're learning. And it would be a crying shame and a shred of hypocrisy if we didn't give tutors the chance to assess themselves and to try and apply their knowledge that they're gleaning from the TTA's platform. So TTA's CPD platform will include assessment materials of a broad range of types, from multiple choice questions to extended written assignments, for you to try to assess your own ability and to see how you can apply the ideas that you're developing and learning if you wish. Obviously, it's completely voluntary and you can engage as much or as little as you wish. But the key fundamental purpose here is helping you, as a tutor, be better prepared for the next tutorial, the next job, the next client, the next school, and wherever else it is you're going to go, and have that impact on students, which is so core and critical to our mission. So, why is it that you should get involved? I've already touched on it, but it is worth making it explicit. For new tutors, the reasoning is obvious. For new tutors, this is about giving you the core training of what you need to know on day one. We've designed the system so that the initial concepts really go back to basics. What even is tuition? Okay, what sorts of types of tuition are there? And what do you need to know when you're going into tutorials for the first time? But it's far more than that. It's far more than just what new tutors should know. And it's not supposed to be only for those people at the very start of their tuition career. But it goes beyond that to what experienced tutors might be interested about. And we know that experienced tutors have often dedicated a significant portion of their working life to being outstanding educators. Obviously, if they've dedicated this time to developing their profession and their craft, they're very well likely to be interested in understanding more about how tuition works, how to make it more effective, how to push the envelope. And this is why the system will also include, and already does include, a broad range of cutting-edge ideas, evidence, theory, and understanding of how to apply technology that has never even been available to tutors before in many cases. TTA is ambitious. We are ambitious because we want tutors to be well placed to make the maximum impact on students. As tuition has been put into the limelight, we want to make sure that it shines. And we want to make sure that you as tutors and as corporate or individual members are best placed to take maximum advantage of the resources we have on offer. So if you are an experienced tutor and you're thinking, is this for me because I already know how to be a tutor and it seems a bit patronising, then I would urge you, please, that's not our intention. Our intention is to spark an interest in things you might not have heard of so much before, to broaden your horizon in terms of your professional understanding and development. And go on and have a look. It's free. If you remember, it's free. And we'd really urge you, have a look, start learning some things that are maybe a little bit new. learn at a different perspective. And when you next engage, whether it's at the conference next year, or whether it's at different TTA events or socials, there will be other discussion points that may come up for you, and we'd be delighted to see that going further. And the things that you can learn about, how can priming help students, and other pedagogical techniques, some of which you may have heard of, some of which perhaps not. But it then goes beyond just pedagogy and training and teaching. It goes into what's the legal liability you might face as a tutor, which is often something which isn't considered on a day-to-day basis, but it's very important because we want to ensure that you as tutors deliver an excellent service and that your careers develop and flourish. And then lastly, but not least by all means, is safeguarding. Safeguarding in SEND is also covered on TTA's CPD platform. And these are crucial areas for all tutors to understand. What's the latest requirements in terms of safeguarding legislation? How do you address students with different educational needs? This is of critical interest to us as an association to make sure that our members are the best tutors, not just in the UK, across the world. Because the UK is renowned for its tuition sector and we're determined to push the envelope further. So come and join us. And please make use of TTA's CPD platform. Make use of the platform that we're making available to all members for free to ensure that you have the ability to have that maximum impact on students' lives and outcomes. In addition to this, we're going to have a plan to raise the standard permanently within TTA and the tuition profession. In the future, new members will have to pass a short assessment in order for it to be accepted within the association. It won't be excessively onerous, but it will ensure that you as members are only in the company of people who we can verify have the basic competencies and understanding to be a tutor. As tuition is growing, as the sector is growing and becoming more important, it is not going to be enough for us as an association to stand still and to be reactive and to deal with problems as they arise. Because we know that problems in a tuition setting are not acceptable. Safeguarding issues are not acceptable. We never ever want to see the day where there is a TTA tutor who has caused an issue that could damage the reputation of the whole sector. And we're acting now to start making sure that that will never be the case, as far as we possibly can. To safeguard the reputation of TTA and ensure that when parents and the government and schools look at TTA members and they see that TTA logo, that they understand what it means. That they understand that it means there's a basic minimum level of competence. And it can't just be anybody who calls himself a tutor or a TTA member, but only those people who genuinely have the skills and understanding to deliver a good quality education to students. So we will be moving to that model where there is a basic minimum requirement, not onerous and easy for any competent tutor to pass, but that will make sure we are safeguarding the profession that you are part of. How will you be able to get access? It's a fantastic question. I've spent most of this time trying to explain to you why I think CPD is such a fundamentally important aspect of what TTA is trying to do. So what we will be doing is communicating to members over the coming week about how you can get access to the launch webinars that we will be running on the 24th of November. There'll be three. Two for individual members, one in the morning and one in the evening, to try and cater for as many as possible, and one for corporates in the afternoon. These launch webinars will give you a run through of how the platform works and how you can get access and make use of it. So please, 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 have a look at those webinar links when they come through and sign up to one of those webinar events to be able to get access to the TTA CPD platform as soon as possible. Now, I would like to invite you to put in any questions you have about TTA CPD platform in the Q&A. At TTA, we are priding ourselves on the ability to be transparent and open, to engage directly with you as members, and with a virtual conference wherever you are in the UK or indeed across the world. So please, if you have questions, I would welcome you to ask them in the Q&A so that we can address them for you and we can explain what it is we're doing and why it is we're doing it. So the summary of benefits before we go to the Q&A, while you're thinking of the questions you might want to ask. The key thing we're doing with the TTA CPD platform is developing tuition knowledge and skills across the sector. We want to make sure that TTA members are the best tutors in the UK and the best tutors across the world. We're dedicating significant internal resources to making sure we have the content and the assessment material that makes that a reality and not just a soundbite. We want to increase, ultimately, the impact that every single tutor that is a member of TTA can have on the students they teach, fundamentally improving the quality of education in the UK. And when I said and implored you at the beginning of this conference to innovate, this is our way of holding your hand and helping you to do it side by side. We want to increase your value as a tutor. Ultimately, this might increase your career prospects and whether you stay within the tuition sector and go and become more experienced, or if you eventually move out to other areas of life, we want you to take skills and knowledge with you and good memories of how you could learn and adapt and acquire transferable skills as a tutor. And finally, the main benefit here that applies across the sector is professionalisation. We are raising the bar on what it means to be a TTA tutor. There will no longer be the opportunity for anybody across the country, regardless of qualifications or regardless of knowledge, to be able to say, oh, I'm a tutor and I'm as equal to the person standing next to me. Because we know that's not quite true. It is high time that there was some minimum standards in the tuition profession. And we are making that happen. One of the main ways we're doing that is through the TTA's own CPD platform. So thank you very much. We'd like to invite you to put the questions in the Q&A, and please join us in just a few moments' time for a Q&A session on the TTA CPD platform and strategy. Thank you very much. So welcome back, and thank you very much for being part of the TTA's virtual conference and also for watching our CPD launch. What we're going to do now is we're going to take Q&A, and we've got lots of questions coming in, so we will try and go as fast as we can to cover all the questions before the break for lunch. So one of the first questions we've had is, as a corporate member, how can they share the new CPD platform and its resources and with the tutors they employ? And I'm pleased to say that for corporate members, that for all of your members and your tutors that are the TTA members themselves, it will be entirely free. Okay. Beyond that, obviously, we would encourage you to get your tutors that are not members to sign up for the discounted rate of £60 per annum. Okay, which they can do from the website. But Chris, would you like to say anything further on that?
Yeah, I would encourage the corporate members to use it, have a go. There's lots of things on there for you. Log on and see see what we've created. And I would stress that some of you have a lot of tutors who are not members of the association. Maybe this is a significant incentive for them to come and join us. This is just yet one of many benefits. We've got about 28 benefits of being a member. This is one that we're adding today.
For free, no extra cost.
For free, and it launches on the 24th. So I think it's incredibly exciting.
Indeed. And someone else has asked a very closely related question, which is, can corporate members use this to train tutors who are not members? And I have to say, there will be a small charge for non-members to access the platform. It would be cost effective anyway, but it would be far greater value to acquire access to the platform, plus also discounts on a whole range of other services, plus the other benefits of being part of the association through membership. So I think it's probably not so economically efficient for tutors to pay for it separately. I think it's worth being a member, especially if you're a corporate and
we can do a group deal. I mean, you know, if you're bringing in tutors into your office for a training day or a training session, they might have 8 of them around the table or something like that. You know, all these sorts of things could be organised and arranged. I think there was one of our affiliate partners, Educate Ed. They do interactive seminars which are designed for groups, and it could be that this is an area which we start to develop.
So by all means, if you're a corporate and you'd like to discuss specific options for your own company, then by all means, please get in touch and we can discuss those in further detail. But yes, for corporates, this is very much a benefit for you and your tutors, especially the ones that are members will be able to access it for free. Another question, will TTA members be able to be involved in adding content? And this is absolutely something we're very keen to encourage. If you feel that you've got content and expertise to offer, we're very keen to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, we're starting off with a bank of 60, and there's lots more out there. There's stuff we don't know about. There's developments all the time. We'd absolutely welcome people volunteering content, really to just build this up. Build up the canon of knowledge, you know.
And it's a key part of the increasing collaboration across the tuition sector, isn't it, Chris?
Indeed. Yeah.
Increasingly, we're seeing lots of members, individual and corporate, being willing to contribute to the tuition sector as a whole. And if you are thinking that you've got something to add, then we're very keen to hear from you, whether it's that you'd be like to help with the editing and the production, or whether you've got anything key to add to CPD, then please get in touch with the association and we can ensure that your knowledge can be shared with others. How will this be communicated to parents and schools? It's a great question, Chris.
We have a number of conduits to do this. Lucy Spencer, our Vice President, is principally going to help us to get it out to the schools. Obviously, we're going to have a marketing communications plan for November and December, and a continuous feed of trying to engage with parents. Obviously, it's very difficult for us to engage nationally with parents, but clearly every opportunity we get, any press opportunities, Schools Week, for instance, have been on this morning already. So we have various conduits we can use to get the message out, both to schools and to parents. And I think over a period of the next 2 or 3 months, we will notice the difference.
Indeed, I think that's definitely the case. Then there's another question, will there be certificates? And I'm pleased to say that yes, TTA will be launching qualifications that will be available to members, a tiered level of qualifications, and we will be rolling this out as we go forward. So yes, there will be qualifications and there will be certification that TTA will offer through its own CPD platform, through assessments that can be set for tutors to show that they have acquired the skills. They haven't just sat there in a webinar and watched it. We won't be giving out certificates just for participation. You would have to demonstrate that you have the skills and knowledge, because it is very much about ensuring, not just hoping, but ensuring that that standard is really there.
I think the other thing to be very important is that, you know, the association is not an awarding body, all right? But we have had approaches from a number of academic institutions who are prepared to look at and accredit what we do. So the likelihood is that in the fullness of time, what we award will be underwritten by a top university.
Indeed, and I'm very much looking forward to those future developments, because this won't be standing still. What we're launching isn't what there will be in the year or 2 years' time. It will be continuously developed and updated over time, and there may well be further interesting developments coming soon. I would strongly recommend you turn up to the next conference, which will be held next October at the Royal Society, and where we hope to be able to update you then on the developments over the year and on the future developments that will be coming soon after that. There's another question here on how is this training, TTA's training, different from that provided by Myelin and Qualified Tutor? Obviously, as TTA's got affiliate members that provide training already. This is designed to be complementary to what is out there already, to help tutors to have multiple access points for good training and good resources. The Thirsty Scholars Partnership, Myelin Academia, obviously their sponsors, and Qualified Tutor. They provide a fantastic service, and this is supposed to be complementary to that.
I mean, there will be crossover. Undoubtedly, there will be slight duplication and the rest of it. There is quite an important little difference is that for our members, it'll be free.
Yeah, oh, indeed, of course. So TTA members will access all of this.
Myelin or the other organisations, but ours will be obviously free for members. So there we are.
And we've got, will the launch webinars be recorded? So we will look into doing that for you. I won't be able to make a commitment yet, but we will hope to rerun those launch webinars. Yeah. So if you absolutely can't make them, we can record them. Yeah, they will be recorded. Yeah. And in addition to recording them, we will then offer additional webinars at a later date for those people that just can't make the 24th. And if you're really, really keen to get on board, then please email the office and we'll try and make sure we can get you on board.
There'll be other dates. And the 24th, is a date, a point in time, but there will be other dates. There's no question about it. Obviously,
indeed,
we're going to get as new members come on board.
It'll be ongoing.
Yeah, so there's got to be some onboarding arrangements put in place.
It's great to see there's lots of questions coming through here, and it's really exciting. I mean, one of the questions here, excited by this announcement. Thank you to the TTA for offering this to us for free. I've been a professional tutor for many years, and what topics do you think I should look at first? I'd just like to say, first of all, thank you very much. I'm really, really pleased to see that people are actually interested to get on board with this. There should be loads there which will be new to you, even if you're an experienced tutor. I can say that of the content that's been put on in the first place, I've done over 10,000 hours of teaching and tuition myself personally, and there's still stuff on there that I don't know and I haven't seen before. So I would say if you're an experienced tutor, there will be stuff there that's new to you. In terms of recommendations for what to look at first, my goodness, well, it depends on where your own strengths and weaknesses lie, but you may find that some aspects of advanced educational theory, some stuff that's relatively new, may be of interest to you if you've not really heard about it before, and may be really interesting. There's stuff on neuroscience there which might not be familiar to all tutors, even if you're experienced, as well as the stuff on managing a business.
Yeah, the commercial stuff. I mean, so that you know, I used to tutor people, or rather coach people, in the finals of chartered accountancy. Yes, I can see by your faces. Yeah, I know I need to get out more, but we do have, this range of business products, which, if you're engaged in tutoring, many tutors don't necessarily have the business skills or would like information on how to run their tutoring business. So, I mean, good place to start, maybe.
Absolutely, indeed. I've also got a question here. As a community, we're going to be better placed to move forwards with this. As a community, how do we communicate this to parents, schools and other customers? In the first instance, I would communicate it with them. When you're selling the tuition services, communicate clearly. This is what we're doing to develop my own personal tuition skills, or your company's tuition skills, those of your members. If you are a corporate and you want to discuss with TTA how we can deliver additional training to your tutors, then obviously please feel free to get in touch, or we will be looking at facilitating those options as well. But indeed, we will be trying to make sure that the message goes out there, both in social media and in the press and our PR activities, to make sure that people understand and start to recognise that TTA stands for these high standards. Yeah. Chris?
No.
Nothing else to add on that?
You say. No, that's fine.
And then, will the platform be updated on a regular basis? Absolutely yes. I mean, in terms of the managing a business, we will continuously be putting on more content that details how to manage everything from accounts to marketing. And then in terms of pedagogy, we understand that pedagogy changes over time. The intention for the platform is to be balanced, to give an evidence-based appraisal of what works and what doesn't work, to accurately reflect the current position, and in fact be some of the most advanced training materials, hopefully, that exist, even for teacher training. Our intention is ambitious.
Yeah, I think the whole thing has to be monitored all the time. It's quite an investment for the association to do this, as you can probably appreciate. So, there's no point in CPD unless it is regularly reviewed and updated, and we keep up with the way modern teaching and modern tuition techniques evolve. So, no, very good question.
We've got another question, which is a fantastic question, which is, do we obtain CPD points that are nationally recognised towards a teaching qualification? Oof. And that's a really fascinating question, because the answer in the first instance is not yet. But I would like to say, watch this space. There's certainly the intention for this to grow and to be developed. And just because we're not starting with that as something that's available, it's not to say that it won't be available in future.
And we are considering the whole concept of certified tutor. Many people, when we first started out, many people said, well, what is a qualified tutor? Is there a qualification for such a person? Well, of course, there isn't necessarily, and we've now got various organisations trying to develop qualifications in this area. But I think for us, this gives us a golden opportunity to start create the groundwork for the concept of a certified tutor, and the whole issue about CPD. Yes, you can get points, or we will create a point system that would lead up a suitable path to this type of qualification. I think it's a very good question. I mean, it's something I'm very keen on. I'd love to do.
Indeed. Will there be certificates issued for each of the modules, as this will help us tracking staff engaging with the content? I genuinely feel my membership is truly worth it with this offering, and well done to you guys. Thank you very much, very kind of you. And yes, we will be awarding qualifications for different stages, from very, very basic rudimentary stuff, what we talked about with what new members in future would have to pass in order to be accepted into membership, very basic assessment of the key core skills that we expect all tutors to have. And it will go up all the way through to an advanced qualification that will cover an extremely broad range of content.
Yeah, I mean, John, in terms of levels, it's sort of roughly 4 through to 6, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. In terms of levels of qualification, just so that people are aware that level 6 is as a graduate level
sort of bachelor level 6, is it?
And I think there will be the chance in future that when we start discussing accreditation with other institutions, then obviously at that point we will be potentially looking at whether there will be some content in there that's level 7.
Yeah. Okay. Postgraduate.
Yeah. Postgraduate. And would all tutors working with corporate members have access to the CPD? If you're a tutor and you're part of you work with a corporate that's a member, you won't automatically have access unless you are a member yourself. There would be a small charge otherwise, which either the corporate or the tutor themselves could pay. But if you're a tutor that's a member of a corporate, that you work with a corporate that is a member, you are eligible for the £60, the discounted rate per annum
access
membership.
in your own right.
And you then have access anyway, you'd be a full TTA member. So I would say no, just by being a member that's attached or works with a corporate that is a member, that wouldn't be enough on its own, I'm afraid. You would have to then be a member in your own right. But again, that's a discounted rate.
I mean, quite frankly, what we're offering and the other benefits is worth 60 quid of anyone's money, in my opinion. I mean, for instance, you've only got to use the legal helpline once and you've pretty much got your money back. So, no, what we're trying to do is desperately try to create value, make sure that we're creating value for money, that people feel that their subscription is worth it, that what they get back is worth the membership.
Absolutely. And in terms of, we've got more questions here than we will be able to answer. We've only got about a minute left, I'm afraid. But will the platform allow us to record our CPD hours and courses? You will be able to track your progress through it. You will be able to see how well you've done in any assessment activities as well. That will be shown up in the platform. And will the webinar launch be easily available as a recording on a different day? We've already addressed that. The answer is yes. And the last question we were to take now, and thank you very much for your engagement. More questions have come through than we've been able to answer, and I apologise. Will there be opportunities to take part in special interest groups by subject and learner type? I'd welcome a small focus groups as a way of sharing and learning online. There will be further events that tie into the CPD platform in future. In the future, the CPD offering that TTA offers will be linked in almost all, if not all cases, to the CPD platform and content that is available there and assessments that are available there. It will really be used to form
what I'd like
process.
is that we've got the hubs going, and they're sort of regionally based, but quite frankly anyone could join a hub meeting. What I'd like to see evolve is more online groupings, and yes, I'd like to see special interest groups get together and share their ideas. I mean, I think you know, 2 or 3 spring off the mind immediately. You know, SEN for instance. You know, we could have start to form these special, and we could flag them within the astute system. I mean, people who want to join a particular special interest group, we could flag it all up, and
Indeed.
and they could get notified of anything that's coming up, either themed or a general discussion or Q&A or general networking group, something like that.
Indeed, and I'm afraid we'll have to wrap up there for the TTA CPD platform launch Q&A. Thank you very much for joining us. Please stay here. Just momentarily we'll do the morning close and break for lunch, but don't go away just yet. So, as President of the Tutors Association, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you for being here with us at TTA's virtual national conference on the 29th of October, and to be really excited to say thank you to all of those speakers that have been with us this morning, from the Secretary of State Nadeem Zahawi and the officials at the Department for Education who've been actively working with us to make sure that he could speak to us today, and to all of the other speakers who've been able to present their own ideas and their own perceptions and understanding of different aspects of the tuition sector. I'm really grateful. So thank you very much to all of those who have been able to make a contribution this morning. We're really, really keen to see that the initiatives that TTA is rolling out become available and of real value to members over the coming few months. So really please have a look out for those TTA CPD introductory webinars that are being launched and will be taking place on the 24th of November. As we said, there will be the 2 sessions for members, for individual members, morning and evening, and then the session for corporates in the afternoon. And we're going to take a break now for lunch, but please make sure you come back promptly at 1:30 when we'll be starting again with our exciting schedule of further speakers who will be addressing other aspects of the tuition sector, including from our headline sponsor, the Classroom Partnership, as well as from our Vice President, Lucy Spencer, and other really esteemed and renowned professionals from within the tuition sector who have got a really valuable addition, which I'm sure you won't want to miss. And don't forget, stay around until the very end when I'll be here to announce another exciting initiative with TTA that's coming soon. So please make sure you stay all the way through. That'll be happening at 10 to 4. So off you go and have lunch. I would hope you have a delicious lunch wherever you are across the UK, and we look forward to seeing you back promptly at 1:30. Thank you very much.